Hello, and welcome to Dolphin's Dive, a weekly strategically minded Handelabra stream hosted by Logic Dolphin. Handelabra believes in civil rights for everyone and in being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against those goals are not welcome and will not be tolerated. You can follow us at Handelabra Games on Twitch or Handelabra on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. You can follow me personally at Logic Dolphin on Twitch, Discord, YouTube, or pretty much any avenue. Sentinels of the Multiverse, Sentinels of Earth Prime, Bottom of the Ninth, One Deck Dungeon, One Deck Galaxy, Aeon's End, and Spirit Island are all available on Steam, iOS, and Android devices, with the exceptions of One Deck Dungeon, which is also available on Switch, and One Deck Galaxy, which is in early access on Steam. You can find more information on those games at handelabra.com. But today we play Spirit Island, because I want to play Spirit Island, and, well, I'm going to click buttons, because Fractured Days Split the Sky is new to us. It is new to us. And I believe John demoed it yesterday. If not, otherwise I'm in trouble. But Fractured Days Split the Sky has a time mechanic. I played the Spirit once offline. Well, once physically, actually. This was like a year or two ago. I've never played it digitally. But he has a time mechanic. This is one of the few Jagged Earth Spirits I've actually played before. But it has a time mechanic. But before we get there, setup: put 3 presents on your starting board, 1 in the lowest numbered land with one Dahan, and 2 in the highest numbered land without Dahan. Deal 4 minor and major powers face up as your initial Days That Never Were cards. In a 1 or 2 player game, instead deal 6 of each. In a 1 board game, gain 1 time. We'll talk about time in a second. Excellent support in sweeping indirect effects, but starts off very limited otherwise. Several of its unique powers need setup to use well. It's entirely possible 1 or 2 of them may see no play in a given game. Has a hard time getting lots of presents onto the board. This can make targeting tricky and may be quite dangerous if a Blighted Island effect destroys presents. Complexity very high. Summary powers, very high utility, pretty high defense, and no offense, control, or fear. But what is time? It is but a human construct, not fragments of shattered time. Each presence on this ability represents 1 time. Many of your powers require time as an additional cost. Spend it when you resolve a power, not when you play it. When you gain 1 time, put 1 of your presents here from your presence track, or optionally the island. When you spend 1 time, return it to a presence track, or if you have no free spaces, destroy it. So your presence track is really interesting, as you're going to take from it and return to it, which is very interesting. Days That Never Were. Your 3rd growth option lets you gain any 1 power card from a special set you create during setup. When you gain a power card any other way, you may add 1 unchosen card to the set. So as it was mentioned on the other side, deal 4 minor and major powers face up as Days That Never Were cards, but in the 1 or 2 player game, which I'm going to do 2 player today, we'll have 6 of each. So, growth option over here. Growth option number 3, gain a sun, you move a presence up to range 4, gain a power card from Days That Never Were, and 3 times you gain 1 energy, or gain 1 time, or gain 2 energy. In fact, all of these options are rather weird. And look how this has to scroll, because it's such an involved growth thing here. So pick 1 of these. First growth option is the standard Reclaim All, but you also gain an air and gain up to 2 time. Second growth option is you gain a moon, gain a power card, add a presence at range 2, and twice gain 1 time or plus 2 card plays this turn. And then growth option 3, as we talked about before. But yeah, like, because your presence track is very, what's the word? I would like to look at this zoomed in, but not like, okay, I guess I can't. Show hand is always going to be in the way. Because your growth is very wacky, because you gain time by taking from here, but you spend time putting it back to the presence track. It's very weird, because you get to up to 3 energy per turn and 3 card plays per turn, but it's going to go up and down very willy-nilly. But anyway, innate powers. Slip the flow of time. Cost to use 1 time per previous use this turn. You may use this power any number of times. If you have 3 moon, 1 air, target spirit may resolve 1 slow power now. If you have 2 sun, 2 moon, target spirit may reclaim 1 power card from their discarded or played cards. If they reclaim a card from play, they lose its elements. And then if you have 3 sun and 2 air, target spirit may play a power card by paying its cost. That sounds like you could play a power card after resolving it and then get to do it again. You get a repeat. But it costs 1 time per previous use turn, so like this happens. This gets very expensive, but hey. Visions of a shifting future. Slow yourself. If you have 1 sun, 2 moon, 2 air, look at the top card of either the invader deck or, if relevant, the event deck. Return it, then shuffle that deck's top 2 cards. For the invader deck, differing invader stages may give away which card is next. If you have 2 sun, 3 moon, 2 air, instead of returning and shuffling, you may put the card you looked at on the bottom of its deck. You may not do this for cards specially placed during setup. You can look into the future, and you can decide to postpone the future. Cool. And then the cards, which are definitely very, very wonky. Absolute Stasis. Cost to use 1 time. Until the end of the slow phase, target land and everything in it cease to exist for all purposes, except checking victory or defeat. You cannot target into, out of, or through where the land was. This cannot target an ocean, even if oceans are in play. So you cannot stop the invaders from coming from the ocean. But hey, cease to exist. I would like for John to cease to exist. Blur the Arc of Years. If no Dahan or invaders are present, remove a blight. If invaders are present, they build, then ravage. If Dahan are present, add a Dahan, push up to 2 Dahan. You may repeat this power once on the same land by spending 1 time. So, very fast time movement, I guess. Stasis a land, then cast down the board, and then have a 1 land island. Oh god. How does that work? Pour time sideways. Cost to use 3 time. Move 1 of your presence to a different land with your presence. On the board moved from. During the invader phase, resolve invader and each board, each land actions 1 fewer time. On the board moved to. During the invader phase, resolve invader and each board, each land actions 1 more time. Okay. The official ruling is you can have the 1 land survive if you want to. Oh man, I want that land to survive just because that's fun. The past returns again. Cost to use N time, and spirits jointly pay N energy, where N is the number of players. Swap the top card of the invader deck with a card in the invader discard that is within 1 invader stage of it. The discarded card stays face down. The card going onto the deck turns face down. You can't swap cards that don't exist. So you're saying I can't use this on turn 1? What? I mean, I could play it, but I can't. Yeah, lots of interesting things, and I don't know how to make heads or tails of any of it, so it's going to be great. Yeah. Also, we have Devouring Teeth as the other spirit, I guess. Actually, I guess technically it's Vital Earth and Vital Strength of the Earth and Devouring Teeth. So that's an interesting spirit. Let's play with these 2 because that's what the gods gave me. No, of course we're playing with it. Of course. Of course we're playing with it. And Devouring Teeth, which deals damage. Okay, that's fine. And I have England here. Let's do like England 2, I guess. I don't want to go super high because I need to learn how to play with time. I need to spend some time learning how to play with time. That is his official name, right? Oh no, Fractured Days split the sky. I need to spend some days playing days. Okay. I need to spend some time spending time so I can gain time as I play for days with days. The main edge case you're worried about is Entwined Power Threshold has Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares give Call on Midnight Stream to Fractured Days. Fractured Days hits threshold on Midnight Stream. Does the Unchosen Power correctly make it to days that never were? Oh boy, that's a question. But I'm sure I mean, what does the text say? Oh, it actually says it over here. When you gain a power card any other way, you may add one unchosen card to the set. All right, whatever. I'm going. I'm going. We got cards. They're exploring the jungles. Alright, so how do I look? Alright, days that never were. These are the cards. Blazing Renewal! Cool. So we can gain one of these cards if we take growth option 3. Gain power card from days that never were. And also gain time or gain energy a lot. When you gain time, put presents here from your presents track or from the island if you so want. Also, you can look at the cards down here. Whoa. Whoa! Yeah, I have no idea how to play this. I have no idea. So what? So, okay. Until the end of slow phase, target land and everything in it cease to exist for all purposes except victory or defeat. I presume this means that if I target London with this, it doesn't count as London anymore, and a different land will be London. It's not going to, like... The adversary is not going to be like, hey, I'm going to build in London, but London ceases to exist. Or no, we're going to have a new London with blackjack and hookers. Okay. How do I play this? I mean, the advantage of these that never were is that I know exactly what these powers are. And let me just see something real quick. If I gain a major, do I still have to forget? Yes, okay. Because whenever you gain a major, you have to do that. Okay. It means if you stasis the last land with the city during Terra level 3, you don't just... Well, yeah. But if I stasis a land with 6 buildings in it, is England going to say, all right, I'm going to target a land with 2 buildings because that's the only land I see now? Unless you're talking to someone else. Okay. Okay. I mean, yeah, it also says explicitly, except for victory or defeat. So, yeah, can't just win by stasising the last city. Can't lose by stasising your last presence. Although, stasising your presence kind of sucks, doesn't it? Because then you can't target anything for the rest of the turn. Anyway. Jungles. Jungles. What can we do about jungles? This is a city. This is a blight. These exist. And we have indentured servants earn land, so 2 buildings forces builds. So chasing out invaders isn't good enough. We have... I love how there's so many options here, or so many things I have to parse here, and then down here it's just... Gain a power card, add a presence. Oh man, so hard. I also have to remind myself what Devouring Teeth even has. We can defend 9. Cool. Target spirit may deal +3 damage with one of its damage dealing powers. Yeah, that's kind of not work right now. I mean, I feel like gaining from one of these is the best bet because I want to gain something that deals damage. if there is such a thing. I guess technically this is damage, but we have to have destroyed presence. This is damage. That's damage. That's damage. That's damage. All the damage is slow. I guess technically this is damage, but who uses this power, honestly? Hello, Lucky. I'm feeling slightly overwhelmed right now. Slightly overwhelmed. All right, I think always add presence, right? Always be presencing, except I don't gain a power card from days that never were. But I could also choose to add an unchosen card to this set. But what about you? Do I want to decide on you? You start with 1 card play, 2 energy. You can get to 2 card plays, 2 energy. You always place a presence as well. Your damage dealing powers do +1 damage. So I'm just going to click this and gain a damage dealing power. I'm going to click this and not find a damage dealing power other than Bat's Scout for raids by darkness. And that makes me so sad. I would like to have fire in animal, and I got no fire. That makes me so sad. I am so sad. I'm so sad. Isolate. Isolate prevents builds. Except that's not jungles. You can't ever go wrong with defense 6, right? Well, I'm gonna click this one because it places a presence down. And I'm going to gain a random power that I've never seen before in my life. Also, I have a moon right now. That's cool. I could potentially play a 0 energy card twice, I guess. Generate 4 fear. If I were to somehow... But I would have to have all the elements for this, which I don't think I'm going to. Unless I get millions of card plays. If I have millions of card plays, it's easy. It's easy. We're also looking for like a damage power, weren't we? Because I can deal +3 damage if I do this thing, yeah. Dry woods explodes in smoldering splinters. What if I just completely ignore everything about this spirit and play it like it's a spirit that doesn't care about elements? That would make the viewers very upset. Well, there's no moon here. There's only one sun. There's 3 airs and they don't overlap at all. So pretty much none of these are helpful for what I'm trying to do anyway. Well, I'm gonna take a thing that deals millions of damage. And I can add a card to days that never were. Or I could skip because it says you may. You may. You may is such a great phrase as I could just skip. Because I could be like, none of these are very exciting. Confounding Mists on England. Come on. Come on. And now Confounding Mists is here. Alright. And then I'm going to take Nature's Resilience because you can never go wrong with defense. Alright, cool. Now what? I can do damage in the land, and then I can make the land cease to exist so it doesn't actually build. Needs a sacred site range 2. We have a sacred site range 2. So I can make this blight land not build forcibly and very expensively. I could also destroy the explorer and then remove the blight. And that's literally all I would be doing with that. I could also let them build and ravage, which seems wrong. I mean, obviously, if you have defend and Dahan, it makes sense. But doing it in B4 just to make a cascade happen seems wrong. I do need time if I want to repeat that. I need time if I want to make something cease to exist. Repeats of this require time. This never requires time. Okay. See you. I still have yet to kind of figure out what I'm even doing this turn. And I'm okay with that. And I'm not okay with that. I don't think I'm hitting this if I'm playing this, right? I guess I already have one moon. I just have to play 2 moons. And I hate like so many card plays. But I need to have energy. Jeez, I need energy. Which means I'm taking off energy truck? But I don't really have enough for that. Does this do anything? Not really. Okay. I think I'm playing 2 cards this turn. And I'm gonna get to 2 energy. So one of the things, I'm gaining a time from this. And I think I do want 2 card plays. So then the next thing is to get to 2 energy. So that's cool. What am I doing with this? This is range 2 presence. And where do I want this to go? I'm just going to go in this land and you can't stop me. I have no idea what I'm doing. We have +3 damage, so I think I don't even need to make this fast. I guess I'd rather do it in B4 though. So maybe I do want to grow into B4. And is it worth doing this to stop a build? I obviously don't have 3 time. I don't have 2 time. I guess if I selected 2 card plays, I should play something that gives me 2 card plays. Or, well, 3 card plays, but I can't do both. I'm just doing this and you can't stop me until you piss off your co-op partner. I just say that so people don't ask me questions about why am I doing this thing. That's basically my catchphrase for I don't know what I'm doing, so don't judge me. But then people judge me anyway and I get sad. If I'm playing 2 cards, they're going to be 2 1 energy cards. +3 damage is fine. Gather a town will stop something from happening, which is cool. If I play this, I hit those. Is there some place I could do this in? I guess I can just create Dahan with that. This does mean that I'm not stopping a build, but I could stop a Ravage, which is worse than stopping a build, but I could do that next turn if I so wanted. I could play this for elements, I guess. I currently have the ability to look at the top card of the Invader deck or the Event deck, return it, and shuffle that deck's top 2 cards. But that's in the slow phase. If I played this, we do get to resolve a slow power and then reclaim a power card. Which I can actually use on... Wait. This is on any spirit. Yes. I could use on myself. I could repeat it. We could use this to avoid reclaiming for the rest of the game. And John's typical mantra is NBR, never be reclaiming. But reclaim here does gain you to 2 times. So, This is range 0 to gather and explore town. So I want to go into a land that has nothing in there of note that I could choose to gather from if so desired. I'm gonna choose this land. And we do have a damaged thing. And I'm not playing to defend, so I'm gathering. And I also can just move my presence around this way to gather, so that's fine. It has to be a land with invaders, though, so it is a bit limiting. So this is a fast power. So if I do use this to reclaim power cards, then I reclaim a slow power card. Obviously, that's not ideal, but I could resolve it fast. But things that I want slow. Which is awkward. All right, I finally finished my play phase. The cost to use cannot be paid for the past returns again. Oh, actually, you're right. I didn't necessarily need to play that because I was thinking I could use this. Or use this, but I don't need to. So I don't think it's not really worth, is it? I mean, I could just play this for elements, but I could play it later for elements, so I think it's fine. Warning, you can play more power cards. Warning, you can't use your power card. Warning, warning, warning. Okay, so you get this. And land without invaders, we could remove a blight. I don't have range there. Also needs no Dahan. If invaders are present, we can build and ravage. I could do this. Or I could do this. Or I could do this. Or I got it. No. So I could just create more Dahan there and push it out. Which would potentially be helpful for, like, I don't know, B8 down the road, B6 down the road, if I have defense. I don't know. Just go somewhere. Go somewhere, okay? There. Do you want to spend a time to repeat this power in the same land? There's nothing in there, so I can remove a blight now. There's nothing in there, though, at all. Okay. I could leave the Dahan in there and create another Dahan for one time, but it's fine. Exploring sands. So gathering into B3 is now a bad idea. Whoops. We could look at the top card of invader or event and blah blah blah. Probably would rather look at the event deck, as this is a 50-50 as to whether it's mountains or wetlands, and we'll know what it is, and it's going to shuffle, so if the top card is still stage 1, we'll know exactly what it is. If the top card is stage 2, then we know it's a stage 2 card, and then the next card is exactly what we know. But I feel like the event deck is slightly more helpful to know, as we can plan around those random effects better. Granted, it's shuffled, but... So you have promising farmland, which places towns instead of explorers. Add beasts to a land without blight that has towns. During ravage, defend 1 per Dahan. Optionally, we can blight the island, so then we can perform a ravage step for 1 terrain not shown under any invader action. Probably not wise for that. I have to click this button to return it. Okay. The reason there's a button there is because I could put the card on the bottom of its deck. So we know either this next event is defend one per Dahan and exploring adds a town the first time, and beasts are added to a land with town and no blight. The defense would be helpful for A3 and B8, but it's a 50-50 whether it's there. We could gamble. And if we lose, we put 2 blight on the board and kill 2 Dahan. But if we win, that's great stakes. And then it's going to add me for the +2 damage, yes. Man, Fractured Day, Split the Sky is such a great damage spirit. Okay. So gathering the town out of A3 was the original plan. If we want to gamble on the Dahan defense, then we want to leave it there as it will die in the Ravage. The problem with gathering into B3 is that it's going to build a city in B3. So these are now the eyes. And these are now the problems. Actually, this one's fine. So A8 was always going to be a sacrifice. A3 and B8 are almost randomly solved. And then the builds are forced in all of those lands. I wonder if there's merit to gathering a town out of A8. We do have, like, Nature's Resilience and mark territory for defense, if so desired. There's not really much reason to defend A8, though, but we could move the town into a spot where we could deal with it more effectively, but death approaches from beneath the surface would be a reason to do that. We could also just move our presence to a spot to do that anyway. I mean, we can't do it this turn, but down the road. In any case, it's not the priority for this coming turn anyway, so... So really, it's just a question of am I going to gather into A5? Don't really feel like it. Does this generate fear? It does. So we do want to generate that fear. I'm going to gather something somewhere. I think I'm going to go ahead and gamble on the Dahan defense. I'm feeling very confident in my Dahan defense. So let's take the guy out of A4. And then let's just go into A7 because sands are relevant next turn. Okay. Ferocious Rampage damages only explorers and towns. That's one way to solve one of the sands. The other way would be to have enough elements for death approaches. The problem with that is I don't have the elements for that. Because my only other fire card was Gift of Furious Might. So, and this doesn't have earth on it. So I need to... Oh, this has fire on it, actually. If I gain the fire... Fire, animal. I need to play an earth animal card, which is Nature's Resilience, or mark territory. But I would need to have energy to play both, or to gain a power card that has earth animal and is free. that would solve these two lands. I'm just going to like there's a way to solve those lands. This is pending the event. That's a Blade. So the only thing that's not solved is B5. Oh, and also technically this is a problem. Yeah, I'm solving the lands that don't need solved actually, but I guess I can use Ferocious Rampage in or whatever in A4. Well, I guess it's going to be the Gather Presence and Undamaged thing. In A4. Okay. And then the other could be defended the following turn. They both have Dahan in them, so they're easy to defend and want to defend. And B5 could do stuff. Okay, so I guess this turn I should gain a power card from Days That Never Were, because whenever you take a growth option, you should always pick a different growth option from the previous turn. That's exactly what you should do in every game with every spirit, always. Question is, what would I want to gain? We could move the town that's built in B5 to a different land. I guess B8 wasn't solved. Or no, sorry, B8 is solved pending the event. Right, never mind. Right, so... does gaining multiple elements do something? Not really. And this is another spirit? It's any spirit. I will only have one card play, most likely, unless I gain 3 time to get here. Probably do want 2 card plays. But what do I want? Can I, like... okay, I can do this. Okay. I feel like looking at elements is not really worth. I guess one thing I could do is look at the majors and plan for the majors. Like, this is something you don't really get to do, is plan for a major. Whenever you pull majors, you always tend to be like, well, I already have most of these elements, so I'm going to take this major. But here I can be like, well, I really want to have this threshold down the road, so I'm going to start taking cards that give me that, knowing that this is in my repertoire. But which one would be best for that? Water. What are you doing? No. How about the anti-England card? Surely this is good. So to build to that, I need fire, water, and animal. I have 1 fire. I have 1 water. I have 0 animal. Very good. Very good. This one isn't really particularly, but it is an easy threshold to hit, and we kind of have 1 plant and 1 water. Okay, what about what about things have sun, moon, air, because I apparently have better reach of those. Not many. Yikes. Maybe I just say these cards suck and I don't ever look at them for the rest of the game. No. Confounding Mist is okay. I mean, I could just look at the minors and ignore the majors for now. Dahan adding, Blight removing, defense, pushing Blight. Blight cannot be added is also pretty nice. But energy is a bit weird. I guess we can gain lots of energy over here, but... I guess that's kind of interesting. You can gain a major off of your days that never were and gain millions of energy to guarantee that you can also play that major this turn. And then, like, nothing else. But that is a thought. It's a rather interesting thing. You don't have destroyed presence. Spending 5 energy for 4 damage is not really that worth right now. Anti-England. I think that we potentially value if we know they were building in the mountains or something. But they're not. I don't know. I don't really like these things. They're so much energy for so little gain right now. Maybe I don't go majors because I don't need majors. Target Barrier gathers a Dahan, damage per Dahan. Does that do anything? I guess we could use it in B3 to kill that thing without having to actually do it ourselves, but... also seems like kind of a waste. Guess I could do it in like B6 on myself. Gather the singleton out of B1. That's not terrible. But it would be nice to do something about B5, I guess. So it's just confounding mists into B5. Okay, I'm doing that. And am I gonna play any other card this turn? Confounding mists, and I can't have the time for that. Ceasing to exist. Don't think we need it this turn. And we won't have... I guess we will have the time for that. Oh, but no, we won't if I'm just... Or no, I will have time for that, right? Because I'm doing this a million times. Actually, I will have time for also this. Resolve Invader and each board, each land actions 1 fewer time. Resolve Invader and each board, each land actions 1 more time. So wait, how does that work? Resolve Invader actions 1 fewer time. So does that mean when we say invaders build in sands, they build in only one of the sands? But then things that say on each board, add Dahan to a land with Dahan goes off 0 times. Or does it say like build in sands 0 times on this board and then build in sands 2 times on the other board? I don't know. There's too many words on the card. There's nothing in the discard, so I don't want to use that either. I guess I just play the 1 card then. They'll build in 0 sands on 1 board, they'll build in both sands twice in the other board. Okay. Well, that's kind of bad. I don't really need 2 card plays this turn. I'm just gonna take millions of energy. Or, not that millions of energy, though. We'll just go up to 3 energy. Like, why not? Wait. Did I break the game? I added 4 time? Is that what I did? Yes. That's not how that works. That's a bug. Has that bug already been reported? I want to check real quick. I don't want to make John mad by reporting a bug that already exists. What? Okay. If I click gain time, I hit undo, then I can gain time, I can gain time, I can undo, I can gain time, I can gain time, I can undo. That was reported? Okay. In that case, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing shit. I can move presence. Literally all I'm doing is turn his confounding mists in B5. It's literally all I'm doing. I'm gonna move my presence from B4, which is not doing anything. Range 4. I'll move over to this board so that I can decide to pour time sideways on that board if I so wanted. I'll go into A2 because I can make that land cease to exist if I so wanted. That's done. And then I guess for Devoured Teeth, the safest course of action is to gain 3 energy. I don't need... Well... I could Nature's Resilience A8. I'm playing this, I guess. I mean, if I'm playing this, I might as well use it in the place that makes sense. I'm going to do it in A8. So congratulations, A8, you are solved. It was not what I was planning on, but it's what just happened. We also get feared that way. And I could do damage here and then Ferocious Rampage. Yeah, in a different land. Okay. So that solves those problems, and then the event solves those two if we lucked out on the coin flip. Do you feel so lucky that we lucked out on the coin flip? Here we go. Did we luck out on the coin flip? Nope. Rip run. Well, we know the next one is defend per Dahan, so cool. Seeking the interior. In each coastal land, push and explore 1 land inland. Beasts prowl. Beasts generate fear if invaders are present. On each board, push 2 Dahan from a land with blight to a land without blight. So, the beasts are generating fear right now. So we do have a fear card. So now we have a fear card, Trustfall. And in a coastal land, in each coastal land. Okay, in each coastal land. So we're forcibly moving these guys. Not that it's really going to do anything. You can go there, that's fine. And you can go there. No, don't go there. That's ravaging. Just kidding. You can go there. And you can go there. I kind of want to leave A4 empty, even though it's still building. Fear, fear. Push 2 Dahan. There are no Dahan in lands with blight. Fear card says remove and explore a town from a land where it is the only invader. Well, that solves this land. Yay! And that's blowing up. Okay. Removing the town from B6 maybe to get rid of buildings and maybe stop some innerland visibility. And okay, it's because this is adding a town, but we're pushing that out. Okay, so they didn't explore B7, and there's no buildings near B7. So actually, we just won because England didn't build. That's exactly how winning works. We have defense over here because the event card says defend 1 per Dahan. So we don't need to do anything in B7 or B3 or A7 this turn, and B5 is done because we pushed the thing out. So we have Ferocious Rampage and we have Death Approaches. And I can use this to gather my presence before I do something in there. So I still want to do this here, right? And Ferocious Rampage, I could do an A8, which is the only other valid target for that. Or I could do over here, but that's defended. Okay, but I'll do it here so it does something. Okay. So these are the builds. And they're all forced. This Ravage is solved by the event. This Ravage is solved by the event. This Ravage is solved because this isn't... Shoot, what's the new adversary that has explorers dealing 2 damage? Is that Russia? Oh, I forget what the other one is. It is Russia. Okay. This land is solved because we're not playing Russia. Okay. And now Fractured Days has 5 energy because we took off of all of this. And we've not really spent any time. Spending time does put presence back on the tracks, so it's kind of like cost. But we could take middle track and do millions of card plays, get all the elements, and use Slip the Flow of Time to do powers millions of times, I guess. We don't really have a power we want to use millions of times right now, though. Also, Devouring Teeth has Nature's Resilience, but we don't need any defense this turn, so that's great. Does this do anything? If we have 2 waters, we could instead remove a Blight, but we do not have 2 waters. Well, ain't that grand. I don't have to play this, I guess. But finding ways to solve the mountains would be value. We get an animal over here, so we will have presence gathering if so desired, but not really desired. Unless I somehow get the next threshold. I guess all I need for that is a fire, huh? If I play Nature's Resilience. So I guess I'm gaining a power. Hey, it's fire. 1 fear, defend 5, add a beasts. Target land, jungle, wetlands, a fear and a damage, 3 animals, 1 damage. We will have 3 animals, right? Yeah. It's definitely this. This needs a sacred site. So if I'm using this... Potentially we could Savage Mob Beasts millions of times, but it only goes in the jungles and wetlands, which aren't relevant. But we could. And the threshold on this, plus Devouring Teeth's rule, means this deals 3 damage. So I can clear out A2. And that's pretty much it. Okay. Swapping the top card of the invader deck with a card in the invader discard that is within one invader stage of it. The discard has jungles in it. But it does require energy. So we can force a jungle explorer. And if I wipe out A2, that means that, in fact, A3 is not a forced build. If I wipe out A8, that's not a forced build either, but main issue is largely that... Well, I guess they're... Well, no, they're getting rid of the town in A7. They're building A6, but we're going to do something about... I guess we'll have the... Do you have the gather thing? Gather and damage thing. Getting rid of this city could be value, because then the inner lands don't have really anything in them. Interesting. Okay, so we're doing this then. And I'm gonna gain another miner because I just like miners, I guess. That came out wrong, actually. Isolate target land. What did I want again? Sun, moon, air? I currently have a moon. I have 2 suns right now. I'm assuming I'm playing my hand. I'm assuming I'm setting up some big turn. I don't know what this turn is yet, though. But I would need 3 suns in order to be able to do this. We do have the moons. We do have the airs. So it needs to be a sun. If I'm doing this one, which I'm not sure I am. I mean, I don't know that I would necessarily put things on the bottom of the deck, but hey. But basically, it's going to be one of these two. Which... Sky's Herald, this Season of Return isn't really particularly great. TBH. Because we have no destroyed presence. I guess we could get a destroyed presence, but we don't really need a destroyed presence. But anyway, let's just add Badlands. And hey, I'll put the other one in the thing because... I don't know. This adds a presence. If I want this, I need a sacred site. I have a sacred site. I'll put a sacred site over here. And we need to get to 4 card plays. We're currently at 1. 2 time gets me to 2. I can only do this twice. So I'm just going to get to 5 card plays. Alright, cool. This is my super duper turn. What exactly my super duper turn does, I don't know yet. This doesn't even have a target. You just use it. Just use it. So 2 time and spirits jointly spend 2 energy. I'll spend my energy. And now it's jungles with a random stage 2 card face down in my discard. Absolute stasis. Not really a place to use this on. I could stasis a jungle that they're going to explore to, and then they can't explore there, but again, that seems rather silly. But we can resolve slow power, and then reclaim power card, and then play power card. Which my original plan was to have Savage Maw Beasts go off millions of times. We could just reclaim a power card from the discard and play it immediately on either of us. Can we just win? Can we just win? I only have 2 time right now, so I can only do this once, or I can repeat it only once. Because I only have 2 time. The first is free, the second requires 1 time, the third requires 2 time, and I won't have 2 time at that point. So I can do Absolute Stasis, and I can do the repeat on this. Nature's Resilience doesn't do anything, but... Do I have 2 waters? No. Okay, so I can't ever do the blight removal. Yeah, I don't need the defense because we have defend per Dahan. We also don't have an escalation this turn because we removed the stage 2 card. So what would I want to cease to exist for the turn is the question. Do we want to sear anger into the wildlands fast for any reason? Eh. Eh. I don't really foresee a reason to use Absolute Stasis to stop and explore, so it's gonna be to stop a build somewhere. And the best is probably A1. And then I have Savage Maw Beasts again. Yay! Wait, do I even need it? There's not really a valid place to use it other than to kill 2 explorers in A5. It is a fear. I could do Death Approaches fast to kill the guy in A6. But that seems like a bit of a waste. Oh yeah, port time sideways. I can't use it. I had the time for it, but I don't anymore. I don't need it, but I can't even use it. I could just use this to reclaim a card, I guess, so we don't have to reclaim all next turn. But not sure what I would need that for. I guess I don't have to repeat. Is there a reason to use Confounding Mists this turn? Not really. We know they're exploring jungles, which is a really weird thing to know. But it's not like we can do much with that. think waiting for slow phase on Savage Mobbies kind of a waste, but we can kill the Explorer in A8 and then use death approaches into A6 to kill the guy, and then that doesn't build. Yeah, so even though I have the ability to repeat this, I think I'm not. Oh my god! Also, they're adding a town instead of an Explorer once per board. That should have been noted, I guess. We have Defend per Dahan. Add beasts to a land without blight that has a town. So, actually they can just explore the town here, because I'm just going to kill it immediately anyway. That's fine. And then this is... That's forcibly a town over there. Yeah, Savage Mobbies before I lose the Sacred Site. Gather the presence and then kill the town there. So that's solved. That one will probably be solved. We have defense in many ways. This is a question mark. Or I guess an exclamation point. That's most likely solved. And then the build here, build here, build here. If we could move this Explorer out, it's prevented. If wilds and invaders are present, do things. Well, that's kind of hard to have happen. Look at the event deck again. Temporary truce. In lands with Dahan, one Dahan and one building do not participate in ravages. If we get to terror level 2, which we are 12 fear away, during the ravage step on each board, skip one ravage action in the land where Dahan outnumber buildings. In each land with beasts, 1 damage per beasts. For each board, 1 fear if any Dahan are in lands with buildings. Okay. So 50-50 whether this is coming up next. We could put it on the bottom, but it's not a bad event. Beasts can deal damage. Fear if Dahan are in lands with buildings. Dahan and buildings do not participate in ravages 1 in lands with Dahan. So all the lands with Dahan. That one's kind of bad, I guess, but not like super bad. Just you can't rely on Dahan to counterattack. But if there's just 1 building and 1 Dahan in the land, then the building doesn't ravage. Okay. So it's a 50-50 whether it comes up. So for instance, this Explorer might not die next turn. Beasts deal damage, but it's only 1 damage. It kills the Explorer in B5, kills the Explorer in A1, but it's not really significant enough. And the fear for Dahan once per board in the land with buildings happens already. So that one's not like super vital if it goes off, but it is a possible thing. Add a Badlands. There's no wilds on the board, so it's just where do I want the Badlands to be? Range 1 from my presence. So I could put it in B2 or A2 since those are the prime lands. This Ravage is coming up next. There's nothing in there though, so that Ravage is fine. Same with A1 really. But there is a possibility that we could do things with... We can defend, really. I mean, we could defend in either land. More easily A1. B2 could be absolutely stasis, but priority is to get rid of the building in B4. I'm gonna put a Badlands here in case I can't stop that build, because then I can kill the city more easily. And then both spirits are reclaiming all. I guess since you only have one card play, we could hypothetically just not reclaim all. We could take a power card from Days That Never Were, like a major power, and just play the major power, which is over here. Still don't have any destroyed presence. And these effects aren't really that great. We could take a defend card if so wanted. Doesn't really serve much purpose. Although taking that card also gives me a sun, so actually we get one fear. We get one fear if we want that. It's probably just reclaim all though. It's only going to be a one card play on you. It's not really a super duper turn this turn anyway. Feels like the super duper turns are waxing and waning on fractured days. This is always reclaim all though. And Sacred Site in A4 seems the wisest to me. I have 4 energy this turn. I think I'm going to take the fire. I can potentially deal 3/4 damage if I play the right cards. I need 2 animals. Good news, all my cards have animals. I need 1 fire, 1 earth. None of my earth cards are a fire card. Okay. So like I could defend A1 if I take Nature's Resilience, and then the fire card would be range 0 is not really good for this. I guess that's still a good card. So I get to gather a presence and then deal 4 damage in a land. And also deal 3 damage in a jungle or wetland, which they're building jungles. So like I can kill everything in A3 with that. This deals 4 damage. I could wipe out A1 or A2 with that. Just keep getting rid of buildings. Stop England from Englanding. We have a stage 2 coming, so there will be an escalation, or it's coastal. We have an air, but it's not going to do anything. So just keep taking off the energy track because I can't get the 2 card players anywhere. What if we just have them ravage B4? Range 0. We're not in B4. There's no wilds. What if we have them build and board A twice? Wait. Do I have 3 time? They will ravage twice, but we have the defense for A1. They will build twice, but we have a lot of damage for A3. And they won't build on board B. Or ravage board B, which is going to be a blight. Okay. Okay. The reminders are in every single land. Alright, on board A, resolve things one more time. On board B, resolve things one fewer time. So the event card was that on each board, blah, 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 on each board, blah, blah, blah. So, in fact, we're going to get... The A6 Dahan is definitely not going to do anything. Actually, wait, no, there's no Dahan in A1. If we put a Dahan in A1, then the city doesn't actually participate in the Ravage, but who cares? We defend it. Alright, so this is the one that we had. Each land... So wait, what does that say? Resolve each board / each land actions one more time. And one fewer time. So in fact... So it happens one more time on this board, one fewer time on this board. So do this, right? No, but it doesn't because it doesn't... Okay. We can actually kill this down. Okay. So each board does that twice. Okay. Or each land. Okay. I was thinking that it would be like 1 land on board B, 3 lands on board A, but I see. And then that went off twice for A2. Clear card. Explorer does not affect coastal lands. Hey, can we get it? Can we get the Coastal Explorer? That Dahan really does not want to participate in the Ravage. And the Explorer... Ah, it's not coastal! Resolve... During the invader phase, resolve invader actions 1 fewer times. So actually we're escalating twice. Yeah? I kind of want to double build A3. Is that weird? I don't think I have enough damage for that. 3 and 4 is 7. That kills a city and 2 towns. I'm in danger. Sure, build on board B, except you don't. And actually, this was forced anyway. Okay. And now you're gonna explore twice. Except you didn't explore A2 now, did ya? Okay, so now I'm seeing how poor time sideways works. It's like, hey, you're not going to explore or build or ravage on board B, but you're gonna do it twice on board A. Which, that was fine, but now the question is... What am I going to do next? Nature's Resilience is my main defense for not moving Dahan out. I guess potentially we could try to do another super duper turn. I have 0 time though. So like, I'm not going to be able to get to thresholds and also gain times millions of times, so... But we can reclaim a card from the discard and play it. So we could put Savage Mobbies into play next round. But yeah, getting rid of those buildings in anticipation of the Ravage is definitely what I want, right? I can defend 9, but it will not have Dahan in there. We can defend 4, though. Defend 4 would be enough. Okay. Also, this is still a problem. Whoops. This is fine. That's fine. They are building here, though. And then there's a million explorers in A5. Why? I don't know. Again, my major powers are rather tragic. Because I have not taken from card plays track. I mean, it's weird because I say I haven't taken from card plays track, but in reality, I haven't gained time from card plays track, but then I spent time, so I don't know. This is weird. I could do millions of card plays with this. Except it's, I can only do that twice and I'll only have, I won't have any time. So it's only good for hitting thresholds, really, which I'm not sure about. Why do billions of card plays when you could have millions? Okay. So Confounding Mists solves A3, but we might need it for B4. I guess I could use Mark Territory in B4 instead, as there's no Dahan there. I need to grow into there, but that's acceptable. I could play 3 cards this turn. But then next turn I'll only have 2 cards anyway. Unless I take this twice. I would need to make sure I have enough energy to play cards though. Which I will have 7 energy by next turn. There's 6 energy here. Next turn I will take at present there. Okay, so I think that's fine to go 3 card plays. This is minor though. Okay. We do want Fire Animal. We're definitely not hitting the bottom threshold this turn. But Fire Animal pretty much guarantees we can always hit the tier 3 threshold on that. So we're going to move Dahan around somewhere. Maybe not this turn, but down the road. Range 0, defend, right? So I need to grow into there and defend. And then all I need is a fire card. And I don't want to play an earth card, because I want to save that possibility for next turn. Actually, I guess I can take an earth there. But energy might be an issue next turn. This is also range 0. We're gonna have to deal with A2 and or A5 next turn. Making B6 cease to exist this turn could be a good thought, as that stops the build cheaply. Is cheaply the right word? I need to gain time to do it. Okay. So you gain a time, and you also gain 2 card plays. I'm gonna take from there for once, okay? You happy now? I took from there. You're also gaining a card. It's gonna be minor. Although I should look at majors, I guess. But whatever, too late. I clicked it. Can't stop me. Not great. There's 1 moon. 2 air. How about we call it a trade and make a new London? How about that? We gotta isolate the land. If it's isolated, it doesn't work. so we don't have to spend time for that anyway. We can do that. And swarming wasps, I don't know. Okay, so we can isolate B6, so that doesn't build. And then this is defended. So all the lands are defended. B1, A2, A5 are the builds that we still haven't really solved. I do have potentially +3 damage if I want. It's not enough to stop B1 though. What range presence is this? It's not enough for A5 either. It would be enough for A2. Oh, but this is not wetlands. So yeah, I can't actually use it this turn in wetlands. Okay, fair enough. Add more badlands? We're playing that one. We're playing that one. I have one other play. I don't think we want to do stasis this turn. So I guess we're just placing badlands down. This is range 1. Range 1. Range 1, so it doesn't really matter where things go. I'm going to grow here for visibility. And I have 0 elements. Cool. So I don't need plus damage. So we just need a fire and not the earth. I guess damage to buildings would work in A4. Or not buildings, but buildings explorers. We could do that in B4, I guess, if anything else. I have one more play, right? Right! Okay, take that one then. Okay, whatever. I don't have to play all the cards, I guess, but why not? Defend, defend, isolate. We definitely don't want to isolate this land, which I can't, well, I could reach, but ignore wilds during the explore step. On each board without wilds, explore actions add +1 explorer in each land successfully explored. I don't know what a wilds is. On each land with beasts, 1 damage per beasts. On each board, add Dahan to a land with Dahan and no badlands, beasts, disease, wildlands. Okay. To a land with Dahan and no things. So that's a singleton, that's a singleton, that's a singleton. One fear card. Each player adds strife in a land with or adjacent to beasts. Oh, this is also a singleton, by the way, but it had a disease in there. Could strife this city. There's only one thing in there. We don't have... We could strife that city, but I still would have to deal with the guys in there eventually. Strifing A2 makes sense to me. I don't have to actually do damage in there now. I just need to gather Dahan, which I can very easily do. Guess I'll strife this city. Terror level 2. And then double explorers in mountains. And also the escalation. Do it in All right, has to go there. Here we have the choice. I guess it's gonna go there. They're exploring mountains though. And twice. Okay. So I want to get at least one more Dahan into A2. And if I can defend A5, I could just put Dahan in A5. But we don't have any more defense cards without reclaiming. I guess there's a possibility that we still have a defense card in here. I say possibility as if I don't exactly know what these cards are. Because I'm so smart, I know how stuff works. We could take Infinite Vitality. Dahan F plus health and Blight cannot be added. That's kind of defense. Because we got... we have 6 damage in there, so actually... one Dahan would die. Unless I hit the threshold on it, which I don't think we have... yeah, we don't have the elements for. We could sacrifice a Dahan there. In lieu of defending it. Of course we have these things. Which... I don't have the range for that, right? So... Ferocious Rampage here would be fine if I could deal with all of the buildings. Which, I mean, Death Approaches could go in A1. It's how much damage again? It's 4, so it actually kills both buildings. So if I do Ferocious Rampage here, I'm just going to do this for a sec. I can undo. So now this isn't building. I have no more damage cards, but like... also, this land is pretty scary. I suppose we could make this land cease to exist next turn. That would be a valid place for that. I guess. I don't know if that's really that valid, because London will move to B2 instead, but hey. But what I could do... I need one more Dahan here. I guess like 2 Dahan and A5 isn't really enough to kill everything, even if I somehow don't kill a Dahan. I could put a Badlands down. I guess might as well. Why not? We do want one there, and then those guys go in there, and we'll figure out what to do next. But if I take Infinite Vitality, we don't get the Blight in that land. Dahan have 6 health. But they will be dealing 7 damage to Dahan, so one of them will still die. What if I do Infinite Vitality, and then I also have the Invaders build and Ravage? That seems bad. Is it? Well, they'll build a city, yes. So 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but they'll be Infinite Vitality'd. So one Dahan dies, the other takes 4 damage. The one Dahan kills a town. And then we get a new Dahan. And then they build, which will build a town, and then basically the same thing. Yeah, it's kind of trash. If we could put a defend in there, then. Like, actual defend. Which Infinite Vitality is the card you're getting if you do that. You will have 2 card play, so you can play 2 cards. I guess it depends on what this card is, and you're gonna have 3 energy, so you can't afford pretty much any card. There's 70 cards still in the deck, so pretty much anything possible here. Veil the Knight's Hunt. So, Dark and Tangled Woods, but it doesn't provide defense. Veil the Knight's Hunt. For each Dahan present, choose a different invader, 1 damage to each of those invaders. I feel like that is worded differently than it used to be. But anyway. With the Badlands, that actually kills a town. And so if we do have them ravage or build and then ravage, they won't build a city, they'll build a town. And also one other explorer dies, so it'll be 2, 3, 4, 5, but Badlands makes it 6. So 1 Dahan still dies. But the other Dahan kills the town. It's not really defense, and it still kills the Dahan, but I kind of like it. Do you have a damage dealing power though? I guess you have Drywood Explodes. Drywoods is range 0, so moving a presence into B2. And then doing something there, I guess. Okay. So you are gaining Infinite Vitality, which is a major power, which means you're forgetting a power. And I would kind of like for it to be a card in my discard. I guess we could lose Seer Anger. We have some Badlands. Move a presence from the super stack into B2. And then we don't need Oodles of Energy this turn. We could play 3 cards. And we can put a stage 1 card on top so they don't escalate. At the expense of 2 energy that we don't even have. So maybe not. We could save that for next turn. We want to make B1 cease to exist, so we're playing that. Building and Ravaging might still be okay. We're definitely doing that. You need a Sacred Site. Range 1 Sacred Site? Oh. Well, then I guess I'm not putting that presence there. Actually, did we do this? I need to undo a couple times. Okay. So we need a Sacred Site at range 1. So actually I'm not growing into B2 after all. So we do this one. Target land ceased to exist. I mean, it's not like it's going to do anything terrible if I do that. I'm not in a mountain to do anything great with Drywood Explodes, so I don't think I use that one. Unless it gives me thresholds differently. We have Slip the Flow of Time for playing another power card by paying its cost. Okay. This isn't going to give me an element that's helpful. Yeah, so... Okay. So we don't have anything in B2 or B7 right now, so these are big question marks. Plus we have an escalation unless we have a coastal explorer. A1 is probably solved. I'm sure we could do it by damage or by doing some other things, maybe. Yeah, I also don't really have +3 damage. I guess we had this for damage, but we don't actually have a valid target for it at all. Okay. So I'm gonna go in B2 and maybe find a way to solve that then. Okay. We are reclaiming next turn, so we do have defense. Also, these are more eyeballs than question marks, because question marks kind of sounds like I don't know how to solve that ravage, which I do. This is solved. That is solved. That is solved. So stasis here. Let's keep the card plays this time. Dahan have lots of health. Dahan deals damage. Oh, and also I do +1 damage because I'm that guy, which means actually no Dahan dies here. Oh, wait, this is the plus damage from here, so I can actually choose? Is that right? I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that's right, but it seemed cool. I guess so, because the plus... Wait. The plus damage from Badlands. Do I get to choose the Dahan that takes that? Because I thought whenever extra damage is... Or whenever damage is dealt, the invaders always do it optimally. Whatever, don't question it. We can actually move these guys into A1, I guess. Not sure what value that has, but I can. And repeating this now is useless as this land is empty now, right? I could add a Dahan. You think it's because I caused the ravage with the power? I mean, if that were the case, wouldn't I be choosing the damage for the initial invader damage as well? Whatever. I'm going to finish using it. You can deal +3 damage. Wait. What if I do... What if I... Is this a damage dealing power? Wait. Here, there you go. Congratulations. Okay. Cultures mix and clash. On each board, if Dahan outnumber buildings by 2 or more, replace a town with Dahan. If buildings outnumber Dahan by 2 or more, replace the Dahan with a town. Oh boy. I don't feel like we have that many buildings, though. Maybe board A screwed, though. We'll figure this out in a second. Foreign diseases on each board. In the land with most combined invaders plus Dahan, minimum 1 of each. Add a disease, 2 damage, 2 Dahan. Offerings of pattern and dance. Each spirit with at least 2 Dahan among all its lands gains 1 energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also, there's a 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so they're equal counts there. Here we have a city and then millions of Dahan. Unfortunately, there's no towns, so we didn't even convert anything. In the land with most combined invaders plus Dahan. This is gonna stop this city from dying, which is annoying. This land does not exist, so actually nothing happens there. Interesting. Wait, where did the disease go? I'm getting a connecting to chat message. Well, my internet doesn't seem to be bad, so I don't know why it just disappeared. Okay, whatever. I can see chat. Cool. It went A1. Oh. Oh, because it's 2 invaders versus 1. Okay. Why is this guy damaged? Hold on, I'm confused. Whatever. Whatever. Each player may push up to 3 explorers or towns from an inland land. That is very good. Go there. Go there. There's no inland guys here, so it's just this guy? You can stay there. That's fine. The Dahan was already damaged from A5. Oh, right. It was the guy that took 1 damage and I moved it. Okay. You're right. You're right. You're right. Either that or they killed the guy with 1 damage and then they damaged the other guy. So now this is the guy that took no damage in A5 or was born from A5. I don't know. You're right, though. I forgot that I did the 1 damage. So this is either jungles, sands, or coastal. The sands is already seen. If I move this town out to B3, this sands will be seen. I think, you know, I think I just leave the guys here because it's a land that has devouring teeth. And this land is building. Coastal? They didn't explore B1. Bug report. It's okay, because I will just herd towards a lurking maw. Wait, I can't. I'll do death approaches. Wait, I can't. Bug report. This is range 1. Bug report. Bug report. John. I'm kidding. How many I feel like there's going to be like you're gonna get like within a week of the spirit being released publicly, you're gonna get about 10 to 15 bug reports about how like a spirit cannot target a land, or invaders didn't explore a land, or they didn't ravage in a land and they didn't notice they played absolute stasis. You just know it's gonna happen, right? You just know it. It's one of those certainties, like the people posting on Discord about bugs and having to tell them use the in-game reporting feature. Thanks. You think most people who will attempt to play it will have more experience? Sure enough, they're probably not too likely to play the spirit if they don't know. Like, what's the complexity level on this? Very high? Yeah, probably. But still, there's gonna be someone that's going to do that and then forget they did that, and then they're going to go to the Discord and say, hey, this thing that was supposed to happen didn't happen because they weren't paying attention, and then they're gonna blame you. Or they'll say the UI could have been made better. You just know it. Okay. Yeah, B1 looks like a fun time, doesn't it? At least we're past the escalation. You think it might need a warning? I'm sure there's going to be people that will complain if there's a warning that pops up. Like, what do you mean? Like, every time they would build in wetlands, they'll say, note, they didn't build in B1 because B1 does not exist. then people will complain that there's a pop-up every single time something happens. No, I don't think that would make it any better. People complain about the pop-ups that currently exist. Warning, you do not have a valid target for this power. Well, I know I don't have a valid target, but I'm going to have one later. Keyboard warriors. So do I gather a town out of B2 and then go ham in B2? Because this is enough damage to kill... I guess I don't... Wait, how many explorers are in there? There's 3 explorers. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I need to gather a town, and then I don't need to defend that, but it's not going to stop the build. And then there's also this Ravage here, which 1 Dahan is not enough to defend... Well, not enough to kill everything, but... There's no buildings on board A. It's weird. Can we just win? Okay, we still got 3 card plays. It'd be more obvious that a land doesn't exist if the whole background color of B1 would be more grayed or have its alpha color reduced or something. Those little reminder markers are barely noticeable. I'm sure there might... Well, I shouldn't say I'm sure. John's also here, but... A grayed out B1 actually would be a pretty nice visual cue. But to be sure, this spirit was demoed for the first time yesterday. I'm sure that like things aren't finalized. I'm sure that the days that never were display is not finalized. Because right now it's just a collection of cards. I mean, it could be finalized. I could be entirely wrong. This could have been... This is the final result of everything. No, I'm sure it's not. They never... These are very early previews. Very early. Anyway, let's stop debating about what they could do. I was just trying to make a joke about how people will complain about stuff because they want to complain about stuff. Speaking of which, the background for this game is so terrible. Who chose this background? There. Now I feel like I'm in the ocean. Okay, so... Lost my train of thought. We could take a major and millions of energy, but we still don't have like really great majors here. Especially not any fast majors. And in any case, this is a reclaim wall. We do have Veil. Okay, so actually Veil makes A1 not happen without a need for defense. I guess Veil also stops A2 from building, but A3 is building because I moved a town into B4, but I think we definitely want to do this, which means we need energy somewhere. And then not wetlands damage. Be nice if we could get the Han into B2, but we don't have... Wait, do we have fast movement? Push 1 Dahan. That'll show him. Hey, gather up to 2 Dahan. Also, let's not forget that we have... Let's not forget that we have this card that wins the game. probably, I'm sure. Wait, what if I were to... let me play this, use it, reclaim it, play it again, use it again by paying 4 energy. That requires millions of energy. But hey, that would win the game, pretty sure. But yeah, I definitely want to use this turn. So I'm taking this because this gives me energy, right? So... And we want the Dahan gathering. I assume I have neighboring Dahan. I do, okay. So... Gather up to 2. I can gain 1 time, and that'll give me 1 energy. And then I can gain 2 energy that way. Move a presence. Range 0 presence. So let me put myself here. Well, it's not really great elements, but hey. Also, I gained millions of energy, but I didn't. Well, I only need 2. So I could have gained 1 more time instead. But I don't think I need it per se. You like that the app forces you to play correctly? See, there's people that complain that they don't have complete freedom to do whatever. I wish the app would let me just cheat and win the game when I'm losing. Okay, I'm done complaining about people complaining because I'm being rude. I'm gonna put a sacred site here. Wait. Does the second earth do anything? No, because I need 4 card plays. Okay. Just take the energy. And then... Veil was something. Plus damage is something. And then... The only blade is here, but it's not happening. So what do I want to do? I guess Savage Mob Beasts. Because why not? I don't have an Earth. Okay, I have an Earth. Okay. So use this. Spend that time and that time. And I'll have myself spend the millions of energy since I did that anyway. And sands, mountains, or jungle. I should have made that decision first, I guess. I'm gonna click. I can't click. Oh. Oh! Oh, I can't do stage 1 because it's within stage... I see. Oh. Okay, well, whatever. It gives me a screen here as if I have a choice. I do actually have a choice. I can do the face down card. Okay, well... I see. I was thinking I could do stage 1 again, but I can't because stage 3 is the top card. Which makes sense. I guess Wetlands is fine. We know that the other card is either Jungles or Sands. Jungles would be the better of the two, but Sands would explore all 4. Wetlands explores all 4 as well, I guess, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm not happy about the escalation, but it's fine. Oh. The plus damage is only to the invade. Oh. Oh. Well, then Veiled isn't doing what I wanted it to do. Why is plus damage... Why is plus damage like this? Why is plus damage doing exactly what it said it would do? Okay, so I'm playing... I'm playing a defend card. I guess. Ugh. Can I just not play a defend card? Can I just like push the haunt in there and then accept the... Okay, whatever. Whatever. I just don't want this to build. That's just all I really want to do. I can actually spend an energy to make this fast. Does that do much? Stops this from building? Okay, you know what? I'm like 90% sure we're gonna get a conversion. And I don't want that conversion to go in B1. I think I'm gonna save up for the slow phase. Why is use popping up there? I'm just gonna reclaim that. Farmers seek the Dahan for aid. But what if all the coastal lands were to build? 2 damage to Dahan and a land with buildings and Dahan. Okay, buildings and Dahan. So it'd be B2. Blight to a land with at least 2 buildings is B1. Buildings have -1 health. It's Spurn. It's always Spurn. I could put the Blight here. I do want this Dahan to go off. I guess I could go here, actually. I don't want it to go here, because... Yeah. Each player adds 2 Strife in a land not matching a Ravage card. I'm pretty sure everything in B1 is dead. Two, 4, 5, 6. They're building a town. 7. So everything in B1 is dead. Two Strife is a lot of Strife. I lied when I said everything in B1 is dead because I forgot about the escalation, which didn't go off. Why? Is that a bug? The escalation didn't go off at all. Is that... Maybe it's some weird quirk about, like, this was originally a stage 3 card, and I'm sure there might be some sort of FAQ about, like, technically it's stage 3 now. The past returns again. If you use the past returns again on a stage 2 card, do you evaluate the escalation effect again? Yes. It still counts as being resolved for the first time. Jagged Earth Rulebook, page 27. Since it was turned face down and returned to the invader deck, it has no memory of what it did the previous time it left the invader deck. Okay, it's recorded has already happened for the card it's giving it, but the FAQ says that it should go off. John! I'm sure that's totally going to be clickable. Actually, I think I'm not going to bother with that. Wait, can I? Okay. I think you can Google it. I know that if you put quotes in this, and when you look at it on Trello, it doesn't actually put the quote. It puts like some other like percent quote or something like that. I don't know. Okay, well, we're supposed to have a city in here. And now the land's mostly empty. Trello API was sending errors about special characters a while ago, so you replace some things with plus sign, etc. to avoid that. It was plus sign was what I typed in, and it was plus sign on the card. Okay. I was getting self-conscious because it said plus sign, and I was like, you know, it's... He's gonna read the card and be like, why do you type plus sign? Weirdo. There's a player reporting a bug. All right, we're 9 fear away from those cities. But there's only 4 towns on the board. Can I just kill the 4 towns? If I could do slow damage fast, that would be cool. Which is possible with this power. Assuming that I have elements for it, which I don't know. Veil the Knight's Hunt is technically fast damage. Technically. And there's certainly not any good... I'm playing the wrong thing. There's certainly no fast damage here that's helpful, right? Wait, we have destroyed presence now. Yay! We did it! We got destroyed presents! Honestly, not bad. Kills those things. But being able to do slow power now would be a little better. I mean, I guess we could ask, is there a rush here? They're building in 3 wetlands. One of which is a city, but it's A2, that's a city. And they're ravaging, but, you know, details. You could just make it not exist. And then it won't have a town in it because it doesn't exist, so we'll win! Yay! I'm just debating, am I... I could go for a major on Devouring Teeth. I'm going for a major because why not? But what about Entwined Power? If we let A2 go off, we could do Manifest Incarnation, which doesn't serve any purpose. Probably just Winds of Rest. As that prevents a city. As fun as Veil the Night's Hunt is, what if I don't Veil the Night's Hunt? Ever think about that one? I can't play 4 cards if I'm playing Winds of Rust, so... if I put the Sacred Site here, I could Winds of Rust in literally any land. And then I'm just going to click cards that say damage. I guess I also need to defend A3, I suppose. I don't need to, but I can. So I will. And then Destroyed Presence, killing everything there. Yeah, that probably just wins at that point. I assume it just wins. Either that or it doesn't just win. I'm not sure which yet. I need energy. This doesn't really matter. I guess Sacred Site. I'm playing Infinite Vitality, I guess. Why? I don't know. I have no thresholds anywhere. I guess if I'm not really getting anything out of it, I should just not play it, as it's not worth the 3 energy. We're not putting Blake down, and Tahan having plus health does me nothing. So maybe I should just take... I don't really need time. Okay. So put Destroyed Presence there. Nature's Resilience. in one of those lands. Winds arrest there to prevent the city. In each land with 2 more towns, push a town to a land without towns. Fear per board with disease. On each board, 2 damage to Dahan in a land with disease. During Ravage, Dahan only do 1 damage each, but deal damage before invaders. None of these things matter. Each player removes an explorer town from a coastal land. Okay. We won! Yay! So what did we learn? Well, I learned that Fractured Days is a headache. Oh boy. We got 41 points. 10 for victory, 20 for difficulty 4, 8 for the 4 remaining invader cards, 5 for the 11 surviving Dahan, -2 for the 5 plate. I know that wasn't a hard game. I was never at risk of losing. I was never concerned. But I kept like having moments of what am I supposed to do with Fractured Days? I think I'm kind of understanding him a little bit more than when I started the game, but I'm sure some expert Fractured Days player is looking at me and is going, "You did what? You didn't do that thing? Wait, why'd you do that there? Ah, God!" But hey, it's very high complexity, and this is like literally the second time I played with him, so go me, I guess. I can definitely see the power behind him if you play him well. Kind of feel like you need some good cards in your Days That Never Were pile, but that's pretty much true of every power card you draw, so. I mean, like, if you think about, like, you draw 4 power cards, there's sometimes 1 that's really good and 3 that aren't good at all. But imagine having those cards permanently. Yeah, I guess that's part of the challenge. Anyway. More spirits, the better too. More options for helping out. Indeed. Sure, he goes hard in a 4-spirit game, for sure. But anyway. That is it for this week of Dolphin's Dive. Thank you all for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Be sure to check out the other streams we have on this channel. Every Sunday now, we have Spirit Island Sundays again with Seamus. He is back. Every Tuesday, we have Handelabra Live with John. And on a random day of the week, you have me. And you might wonder, what day of the week is it next week? I too wonder this. Let me look at my schedule. My options are Monday or Friday. I'm actually working a lot next week. That's interesting. Probably I'd prefer to go after Handelabra Live, so I'll say Friday at 2 p.m. because I work Saturday morning. So you can catch me next week, Friday at 2 p.m. That day is the 21st. But yep, that is it for today. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye.